Hello everybody and welcome back. In this video solution, let's dive into the problem climbing stairs. When it comes to the constraints of the problem, they're rather simple. You're given n number of total stairs and we're starting from the first stair. We can take one or two steps going forward and we have to take all of those steps in such a way that we can reach the nth step. Now, this is sort of a representation of that from any point x. You can take plus 2 steps or plus 1 step. So you can land at any of these green points. The n is also given less than equals to 45, which looks very interesting because this hints at maybe an exponential time complexity question. We don't know that for sure, so let's keep on going. I think I have to say that it's one of those questions where it's not about what you say, it's about how you say that makes all the difference. This question is just a simple change in perspective which can make it really easy to solve. So as I always suggest, let's look at a couple of basic cases and build up on top of that. When n equals to 2, the answer is equal to 2. And that's because you can have two cases, 1 plus 1 and 2. When n equals to 3, you can have answer equals to 3. Again, 3 total cases that we can enumerate. And you can look at this way. There are 3 ones. So now you're asking the question, hey, how many ways can I arrange these 3 ones uniquely? And so in that case, the answer is 1. When we have 1, 1 and 1, 2, we can arrange them in a total of 2 unique ways. And this is why you see the 2 over here. So the total answer is 3 in this case. Let's try n equals to 4. So we have a lot more cases, 4 ones, 1, 2 and 2 ones and 3 total combinations of that and then 2 2s. The answer is equal to 5. By the way, the answer is 2, 3 and then 5. Something should ring a bell at this point, but if it does not, that's perfectly okay. Because what I'm going to do is flip this question on its own head. Earlier, we were looking at this particular point and we're starting at this point. And we said that we can move 1 stair forward or we can move 2 stairs forward. But this is fundamentally the same as saying, if I am at the X stair, if I am this green stair over here, I can reach this point either by taking 1 step from the previous one or 2 steps from the previous to previous one. If you look at both of these, they're fundamentally solving the same problem. But instead of starting, we're looking at how we can end. Here we started from some point, we looked at where we can go, and here we ended at some point and looked at how we came to this point. This is a very big perspective change, but that's going to make all the difference. Because if you combine both of these ideas, something should pop up at this point. We have the sequence given to us as 2, 3, 5, something like that. And this thing says that the dependency of this current x is on the previous 2 x values. What this essentially means is that we're looking at a Fibonacci sequence. Okay, let's try to formalize this and we'll see what happens. So to get the answer for the current value, let's call this dp of I, where dp of I represents the count of the ith point and dp of I is just a summation of dp of I minus 1 plus dp of I minus 2. This is very standard Fibonacci approach and this is in fact the entire logic. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set up a dp. We'll initialize all the values with 0, saying that all the counts are 0 initially. And we'll have that as n plus 1th length dp. And we'll return dp of nth at the end. We also need base cases. So remember how dp of I is dp of I minus 1 plus dp of I minus 2. What this means is that we want to have these two values ready when I equals to 2. When I equals to 2, we have to have dp of 0 ready and we have to have dp of 1 ready. These are the base cases. And as we know in Fibonacci sequence, we can initialize both of them with 1. With that, we can write here for I in range of, we're starting off from 2 and we'll ending at n plus 1. So we'll write that. What this basically means is that, you know how Python works. So Python will say that I'm going to go in the range of 2, n plus 1, which is just the same as 2, n. And with that, we can try submitting this. we'll run a couple of cases. So we have 245 and both of them seem to give the right answer. So we can directly submit. Okay, so cool, this works out. And yeah, let's quickly discuss the space-time complexities. So to do this, we have to take order of n space because we are initializing n total values, n plus 1 total values, which is the order of n. Then we have this for loop going on for 2 to n, and that is just the same as order of n time. So we have time as order of n and space as order of n as well. There's one very interesting optimization we can do, because if you look at this particular step, what I'm essentially doing is I'm saying that the current value depends only on the last two values. What if I replaced both of these guys with variables instead? So let's the dp of I be equals to c, which is going to be a plus b. Okay, and we'll have a plus b, a and b as the previous two values. So we'll go ahead and remove all of that. We'll set up a and b, which is the base case of the dp again, as 1, 1. Both of them start from 1. And then c is going to be a plus b. All we have to do now is set a equals to b and b equals to c. Okay, I think we should spend some more time on this. I'll also return this quickly over here and we'll modify this loop to work. How much do we want to make it run? We already have two values over here, so it looks like we can do n minus 2. I think this should work. Cool, it does. Okay, so let's quickly discuss what's happening. We'll do a quick dry run, okay? So a and b is 1 and 1. C is a plus b, so c is equals to 2. Here we are iterating over n minus 2 times, so that's fine. A equals to b, which means that a is equals to 1 now. B was 1, so a is 1. B equals to whatever c was before, so c is 2, b is 2. Then we have c equals to a plus b, which is 3. Now we'll go again, we'll do another loop. We'll say a equals to b, so b previously was 2, so a equals to 2 now. Then b equals to c, so c was previously 3, so we'll have b equals to 3. And then c equals to a plus b, so we have 5. Similarly, we are just sort of, if you look at it, we're shifting these values. B becomes A, C becomes B with the value 5, and then C becomes A plus B. And so we can keep doing this on and on and on. This basically reduces our space complexity down to order of 1, which is a lot better than order of n space complexity. Note that the time complexity is still pretty much the same. Anyways, this is it for this problem, climbing stairs. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want more of it, subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.